Blakeney was looking for that break, that block that would break it open, but he just couldn't get position on the man. No fault by Andy. He was in position. He just couldn't quite get around there. But that was almost another run back.
1st and 10 Tigers. They're at the Fairfield 46-yard line. I formation behind quarterback Jason Novak. It's Taylor and Inskeep. And here comes Gus up the middle. Boy, he is stacked up 1 yard, maybe 2 at the most. All kinds of defensive tacklers that time. Looked like Kurt Robbins was the first one to hit him, along with the Matt Link.
Tell you what, Ed, that right there can almost dictate possibly what's going to happen in this first half with field position as the Tigers get down to midfield on the kickoff. If they would happen to punt, or if they would not have to punt, anyway, Fairfield's not going to get out of this with good field position any way you look at it unless they run a good kickoff back on the touchdown, if there is one.
2nd down and 8. Counter play, Inskeep go. Oh, that play never developed whatsoever.
Too long, way too long.
Wow. Boy, looks like Marty David was the first one to stack Inskeep, but boy, that was just pathetic. Let's be honest, loss of 4 on the play, maybe 5. Looks like there might have been some kind of confusion there, Sean.
Yeah, it was, and you almost had time to yell down to the players and tell them which way it was going. It happened that slow.
3rd down, Tigers face, it seems like this whole season, with 3rd and long.
How many times, though, this is exactly what it looked like almost in Newton. They couldn't really do anything, and then they came back and figured it out. So
3rd down play. Here's a pass back. Novak looking to throw it to flat. It's a short hop incomplete pass. Rush that time in there from Brooke Clayton. Pass is incomplete. Intended receiver amateur. And so the Tigers, after a great opening kickoff, they total minus 3 yards.
Tell you what, short throw, but probably not a bad throw because that ball would have been hanging up there and very easily could have been picked off and ran for a touchdown. So not a bad throw, even though it was an incomplete pass.
So Novak ready to punt. Jason setting back at his own 40-yard line and try to get this one off. Second leading punter of the conference at 39 yards to kick. Nice spiraling kick. Comes down to the 15-yard line and up to the 20, 23-yard line. On the return is John Warren, and that's where Fairfield opens up 1st and 10.
Ricky Hubble got down there, got the initial contact, hustled down there and made the initial contact, stepped him up, slowed him down for the rest of his teammates to come in and take him down there. Ball now on the 24-yard line.
Well, the Tigers, after a great opening kickoff, return from Inskeep, manage minus 3 yards of offense. They have to kick. Nice bump from Novak, 37 yards on that boot. 1st and 10 Fairfield, ball at the 24-yard line. And here comes the wishbone formation for the Fairfield offense. It's led, of course, by quarterback Kip Walters. And here's the 3rd pack through left side and getting absolutely nowhere. Look at the penetration that time. Milner may have lost a yard on the play.
J.T. Taylor, Jeremiah Hahn in there on the tackle. A couple of other Tigers in on the tackle. Dusty Jones was in there.
And they're going to give a yard ticket, believe it or not, on that. It must have been a nice second effort.
Well, after the initial hit, I think that's when you saw the ball carrier get at least 1 yard there.
2nd down and 9 for Fairfield. Reid wide to the right side. Mules stay in the wishbone formation. And here comes the left side. And slipping, it looked like, as he crossed across the 25 is Milner. He gets to the 26 and picks up 2 more.
Yeah, Milner lost his footing going across the line.
It looks like it's going to be a 3rd down and a long 7 facing the Mules. Ball just across the Fairfield 26-yard line. Just underway from East Richland High School. Tigers were 3 and out. Now the Mules with their first possession. 3rd down play coming up. Walters back to throw. Kip pass over the outside. Is it complete? It is complete. Nice catch out there. Looks like Rob is on the reception, and right there is what the Tigers really have to be careful with.
Yeah, that quick pass to the outside, that seems to really split the zone. We saw that earlier against Newton and a little bit against Charleston. But that zone seems to have a few holes, as any zone will.
Well, 1st down, 1st of the night for Fairfield. 11-yard pickup for the Mules. Now they're moving the ball at the Fairfield 38-yard line. Again, Walters to the wishbone formation. 1st down and 10. Kip now gives it over to Milner left side. He's got a big hole up the middle. Milner across midfield. Milner breaks it to the outside, and Milner is gone. Chalk up 6 points for the Mules on this run. It is going to be a 62-yard touchdown run.
Wow. I'll tell you, there was a Tiger that got a good hit on Milner, but Milner just popped right off of it and headed off to the races. Saw some daylight and went for it and got it.
That score coming with 8:39 to go in the opening quarter. That is why, Sean, that first possession for Olney was so important offensively. Right. you've got to capitalize. This is the best team probably on their schedule. So they're going to
argue with you.
They're going to go for two. The way they just moved that ball down the field, who could blame them? And the Tigers are jumping off sides, and that's going to make it even closer.
Just going to put it in quarterback sneak range.
And when you got a quarterback that's 6'4", it doesn't take much to get it over.
Basically, all you need to do is stand back there and reach over the goal line, because you can probably reach from there.
Milner scored 62 yards. He broke it to the left side, they cut back to the right, and it was just off to the races.
Nice run.
It was. Excellent.
Good blocking.
6-0. Fairfield leads. 8:39 to go. Opening quarter of play from East Richland High School. Mules going for two. Here's it to the outside. And I think it's going to be stopped short, and it is. Nice defensive play out there. Looks like Hubble on the tackle. 6-0. Fairfield leads. Back in 30 seconds of power. 93. Point conversion, and they've helped him off his back. It looks like he's limping on his right side.
It's his right ankle that took the injury, because they were down looking at that right ankle. Good job by Hubble, though. He stepped up, took on the blocker, still had that blocker in front of him when he was able to bring down the ball carrier. Then looked like his ankle just got twisted underneath him as he went down. You know, showing a little pressure on it right now. But
we talked about Milner's 62-yard run, but it was the third down play.
The pass
that really made a difference.
The pass that he allowed that play to actually happen, because if not, that ball's dropped, which it was a diving catch. That ball's dropped. That's a punting situation.
Here's the kickoff. It goes end over end. It's going to bounce, and Tripiano's got it at the 15. Manning across the 20, looking for room, and he slips down across the 25 to the 26.
I don't know what it is, but does it seem to you that people are slipping down a lot easier? There's really...
Yeah, Soldier Field out here.
Soldier Field, the turf's coming up, so yeah. It is now. But it seems like nobody's really able to get their traction. I don't think they wear the good solid cleats like they used to. They use more like the rubber cleats.
They're lighter.
Right.
Yeah, like those cloggers that we wore, you know.
Hey, those are good shoes.
Yeah. First and 10 Tigers, ball at the Olney 26. Novak sets him down, Nick's wide to the right. I formation. And here comes Inskeep, and Gus battles his way to the 30 and across to 31, and that's going to be a pickup of a tough 4 yards for Gus.
There's a man wide open on that left end that nobody blocked. Nobody got a hit on, and I believe it was Milner. Milner came across and made the tackle.
Second down play for the Tigers, and Olney needs 6. Into the Olney lineup now, Matt Kurtz next takes a seat on the sidelines. They'll be alternating the plays for Coach Don Flowers and his staff on the sidelines. Second and 6 for the Tigers, ball at the 31. 6-0, Fairfield leads. I formation. Here's Amateur in motion to the left. Novak dropping back to throw. Here comes the screen. Set up to Taylor. Taylor's one block away. JT across the 35. And Taylor's got the first down near the 40. And Sean only was one block away.
And I saw where that block was. It was just good quickness on the Fairfield defender is what it was. He got around the block. Not a bad call there whatsoever by Coach Flowers. That screen set up nicely. The defensive line really penetrated. Got back there to Jason Novak, and Jason just kind of dumped it off to Taylor.
First down of the night for the Tigers. Ball at the 39-yard line now. Pick up a 13 on that play. I formation once again. First and 10 Tigers. Nick's wide to the left. I course the tight end on the right, and the Tigers are in motion.
Just got a little anxious on the play.
Yeah. So that's going to march Olney back 5, and it's going to set a first and 15.
So yeah, that's allowed though. That's Beasley. That's his. This is his first game, so he's still getting over the first game jitters. So we'll give him that one.
You're generous tonight.
Well, he's bigger than I am. He's a lot bigger than I am.
I saw that vest yesterday, by the way. That they have him in that harness to keep him from raising his shoulder. And I'll tell you what, that's one big kid. First and 15 for the Tigers. Ball back now at the Olney 33-yard line. Clock shows 7:05 to go here in the first quarter of play from East Richland High School. Post-up formation for the first time tonight for Olney. Here's Novak. Blitzes on, and Novak going down. And boy, there are 4 Olney linemen standing up, and there are 3 on top of Jason Novak.
That's blown assignment. Simple as that. They just did not make the blocks and stay with the blocks. There was defenders coming in through every hole on that to get Jason Novak. Jason did not have a chance.
loss of 13 on the play. Second down, line coming up for Olney. Nick's back into the lineup. I'll tell you, Sean, Olney's really got to realize how good this Fairfield team is.
They're good.
I mean, you've got to hit and attack this team. You cannot stand back.
One block isn't going to do it. You have to get on them and keep blocking. This is a great team. It really is.
Second down and half an acre for the Tigers. Ball back now at the 20-yard line. One time we were at the 39. Here's the counter up the middle to Inskeep, and Gus across the 25 to the 26, and he'll pick up 6 on the play.
That hole was there, a beautiful hole. It was wide open. Got to the backing crew, and that's when they came down and made the tackle.
Marty David on the stop for Fairfield that time. Third down play for Olney. The Tigers actually, let's see now, it's simple mathematics. Third down at 21 for Olney. So in this series for Olney, they've had a 5-yard penalty and a 13-yard loss on a sack. And I tell you what, Fairfield may send everybody, including the mayor, on this play.
They might.
Post-hit formation for the Tigers on the third down play. As Novak drops back to throw, rushes on. Jason across the middle. Amateur's got it. Amateur is close, about a yard shy of the first down.
That was a nice play. That was the first real pass, I believe, that we've seen Jason Novak throw that was a nice tight spiral, and it was zipped in there. That was a great throw and a good catch.
Pickup of 19 on the play. Olney's going to be about 2 yards shy of the first down. Tell you what, you give Jason some time, and I tell you what, he can fire a strike.
Yeah, credit the defense or the offensive line there, too. They did a good job of giving him a little more time and giving some good protection.
Novak in to kick. Jason's first was good for 37 yards. But only showing a little bit of life that time on offense. Here's the snapback. It's a low one. Flags are down. Here's the kick. It's a good one from Novak. And he drives the receiver all the way back. He fumbles the ball. It goes back inside the 5, and he falls in the end zone. And let me see. They're going to call it a touchback, and the Tigers have recovered the ball in the end zone. That might be classified as a muff, though. You know, if they're going back and hit it like that, they could classify that as a muff. And I'm sure that's what it is. Legal procedure anyway against the Tigers, it doesn't matter. Too bad Novak, excellent play at that time, 54 yards. And I tell you, that play had only good things for Olney and a procedure penalty, and you bet Fairfield's going to make him take it again.
Oh, yeah.
That's just the way the things have happened this last game, the last 4 quarters for Olney. They say football is a game of break, Sean, and Olney just really hasn't got one yet.
I believe it.
Keep in mind also, Sean, I didn't know, but Fairfield came awfully close to blocking that punt.
Yeah, the snap was a little low. I'll tell you what, another thing, you give Jason Novak a little time on the punt. He's got my vote so far for the best punter in the North Egypt Conference. He is an excellent punter.
So back deep once again for Fairfield, it's John Warren. Novak now inside his 30-yard line. Here's a snap back, and here's Jason's kick. It doesn't quite turn over this time, and Warren lets it bounce past him. John picks it up at the 20. He's looking for room, and John's going down as he falls across the 20 to the 22-yard line.
You tell the way that punt was tailing that it was going to hit and go right straight towards the end zone, and that's exactly what happened.
42-yard punt that time for Novak.
Not too bad.
Kid really can kick the football. First and 10 for Fairfield. Ball at the 22. Well, you know, Fairfield started at their 24 last time before they scored, so they haven't really had great field position yet, but
you don't need great field position when you run a 60-yard touchdown run. I mean, that's impressive.
Great philosophy.
Thank you.
All right, first and 10, Fairfield, wishbone formation. And it looks like Link is the first back through, and he falls to the 25, and he's going to pick up 3 on the play.
Got some good runners on this.
Yeah, Doty, and also looks like Jeremiah Hunt on the stop of the Tigers. Second down and 7. You know, the touchdown run by Milner only really did have a step in the middle. It was just a nice cut back.
Yeah, you're right. And there was a good hit. It was just not really a...
Second down and 7 for Walters and the Mules. Get back to throw. Look, the pass going deep, and it's dropped. Reid had it, and he had 6 on the board. He simply went right past Wayne Saw.
Oh, that was a touchdown. That was a touchdown. No way it could not have been other than dropping the football, and that's exactly what happened. I think he was just cruising.
He absolutely went right past. It looks like Nick Saws it back there. Olney has really got to be awake on this quarterback.
Yeah, they do, because he can throw. You're looking at a much better quarterback than you've seen in the past 2 games. Tell you what, one thing about Rick Hubble right now, he's not going to be back in this football game.
Third down play, counter left side, and I think Fairfield got the first down. Milner on the carry. He's knocked out of bounds at about the 35.
Novak on the tackle, along with Craig Nix.
Quick snap that time, Sean. Olney was not even set.
No.
They were standing looking around. If Fairfield wants the quick snap, it's the second first down at the second first down of the night for Fairfield. That's a pickup on 10 for Milner. Now he has 75 yards and 4 carries. First down at 10, ball at the 35, and there's Milner on the left side, and he is stacked up after about a 3-yard pickup. Nice interior tackling for the Tigers. Looks like Taylor one of the first ones to hit him there. Also getting off the bottom of the pile. Looks like it's Blakely. So Blakely and Taylor on the stop for the Tigers. Second down, and let's call it 6 for Fairfield. We mentioned Rick Hubble being wheeled off, and the girl is going to the hospital. It has to be, we're not going to speculate. It's got to be an ankle or some type of injury like that. There's a pass over the middle that's complete. First down play, nice reception from Jason Baker from Walters. Just like that, that's 15 more yards and another Fairfield first down.
Tell you what, Ed, before we get everybody into panic over Ricky, he didn't look to be in any pain at all. He was just kind of sitting up there as they wheeled him off. I think it's probably just going to take him in for an X-ray the way it looked, but he didn't really seem to be in any pain.
Right now, I think it's in pain as Coach Don Flowers watching the Fairfield offense move. And they call a timeout. We're back in 60 seconds on Power 93. Eastern High School, first and 10, left side. Simpson's first carry of the night. He picks up 1 yard. Trupiano and Blakely on the stop for Olney.
Good job by the Olney defense. Blakely and Troop crashing down, make that tackle. Not much damage done there.
2:28 to go, opening quarter from East Richland High School. 6-0, Fairfield on top. And that's courtesy of a 62-yard touchdown run from Milner. And that came with 8:39 to go in this first quarter. Second down and 9. Here's Walters. Fake. Going deep to the left side, and Reid can't handle it. It is wide anyway. Salza. That time, great coverage from Wayne.
Yeah, Reid was hearing some footsteps, and they were from Salza. Salza actually hit him right as he touched the ball. Good defense.
Wayne toting that cast on his left arm. Tegler now into the Olney defensive backfield as I think we may go with 5 this time. Trupiano will come out. Third down play for Fairfield. Mules need 9. Ball at the 44 of Olney. Next week, Tigers back on the road at Lawrenceville. Reid right to the right side on this wishbone set on the third down and 9. Walters back to throw, pass out the flat is complete, and it's a first down for Fairfield. And then I think the ball gets out of bounds, or not out of bounds, at around the 25. So another 21-yard pickup just like that.
Novak hit him high or low, then Wade Salsa finished him off. I'll tell you what, these Mules look hungry. They really do. They've got that fire in their eyes, and they're really moving those feet.
Well, if people thought they might be overlooking the Tigers because they have Salem next week, I don't think so. First down at 10, ball at the 25-yard line. Again, wishbone set. And here comes Milner to the left side. And Milner already, look at him go for 6 or 7 yards. Beasley and also Taylor on the stop for the Tigers along with Trupiano. But that's after a pickup of 7 on the play. 86 yards for Milner in this first quarter, and we still have 1:44.
Either way, he's going back happy.
That's an understatement there. Second down and 3. Boy, I tell you what, the Fairfield is really impressive.
Yeah, they are.
They're very well disciplined. They come at you hard. You better be ready to hit. Second and 3. Again, Walters and the Mules stay in the wishbone formation. And this is Milner straight up the gut, and he's close to the first down. Tigers doing a nice job that time, crashing down. It looks like Dusty Jones, the first Tiger to hit him there, but I don't know, maybe about a yard shy. Nope, they're going to give it to him.
The run defense does not look that bad for the Tigers, other than the 4-yard pickups left and right, but they're keeping their positions. They're not getting blown off the ball. It's just simply that the blocking schemes seem to be working right now for Fairfield.
First down, ball at the Olney 15-yard line. Fairfield will now have 5 first downs here in the quarter. which reads with 1 minute to go on the scoreboard. And it's 6-0 Fairfield Mules looking for more. And here's a broken up play. Walters to the outside. And the broken up play is going to result 3. But Walters was really smacked by Trippiano on the right side.
Yeah, well, that time what happened is Fairfield backfilled down Eric Simpson. And the play was broken. And how many times do you see a quarterback still wanting to hand that ball off? Not Walters. Walters realized he was down, said, hey, we don't have much time. I'm taking it myself. Turned it up and ran.
12th play of the drive coming up for Fairfield. 2nd down. Ball at the Olney 11-yard line. Mules need 6. They can still pick up a first down on this drive. Here's Milner up the gut. Milner's really stacked up well. Olney really has done a pretty good job inside. Trippiano on the stop along with Ben Beard. And let's see, I'm not sure the other Tiger getting off the bottom. I don't think it was Dusty Jones.
The one thing, the big run from Milner early really hurt the Tigers. That's the worst job they've done tonight on the defense, but now they're doing a pretty good job.
That's here in the first quarter. It's Fairfield 6, Olney nothing. We're back in a minute on Power 93. Welcome back to Switzerland High School. We get set for the start of the second quarter, and I think Mount Carmel taking it out on Red Hill 14-0. That is in the second quarter. Other scores around the area: Carmi 8, Lawrenceville nothing. That's somewhat of a surprise in the first. And Salem 8, Flora nothing in the first, along with the Apollo Conference game kicking off tonight at 7:30. Both 3rd down and 3 yards to go. Ball at the Olney 8 for Fairfield. I think Milner.
Yeah, I have to agree with you.
Let's see, 3rd down and 3, and here comes Milner up the gut. He is stacked up there by Hahn. Boy, Jeremiah was on his knees and just held up Bay, and that's going to be shy of the first down.
I don't think he got it, but they're definitely in a position where they're going to go for it. Looks like he's short by about 2 yards. Maybe picked up a yard on that play.
Milner, 93 yards rushing in the first quarter.
I don't think you're going to see a field goal unit either. I think they're going to go for it, and I think it's going to be a pass to the end zone.
Close-up formation on the 4th and 2 from the 7. Big play. Quick pitch right side. Milner, he's got the first down, and Milner is in for the touchdown. And that play, Sean, Olney had absolutely no balance on the left side.
Nobody over there. Trippiano looked like had to come over. Sauls had to come over, and also Nix coming over.
Well, that makes it 12-0.
Excuse me, make that Amateur instead of Nix.
That was a quick pitch, and it was 3 against 2, basically, and the 3 usually wins in football. We're now going to run the quarterback position here on the 2-point conversion. This is interesting. Warren, and let's see, we have a flag down. I'm not sure exactly if it's a legal procedure against Fairfield or not.
Something against Fairfield, only clapping.
Yeah, legal procedure will mark it back 5. First penalty of the night against the Mules for 5 yards. And now you've got to bring in your other quarterback to try to make the 2-point conversion from about the 8.
I think they were going to let him throw, but try to make the defense think, well, they're not going to throw because they've got the backup quarterback in there, but that's exactly what he was getting ready to do is throw.
Well, let's see now. I think we're going to kick it. Walters is going to try the point after touchdown. He's a lefty. Here's a snap back, and here's the kick. It's up. And it's good. 11:25 to go, first half. It's Fairfield 13, Olney nothing. Go back in 30 seconds on Power 93. Welcome back to Switzerland High School. That now is your line with Sean Edwards. 11:25 to go in the first half. It's 13-0 Fairfield, and real quickly, Sean, very impressive drive for the Mules.
Yeah, they 4 or 5 yards a pop, had some sparkle out of their passing attack. Just a good all-around drive.
14 plays, 78 yards. It takes 5 minutes and 23 seconds. That is impressive. Here's a kickoff. It's fumbled, and Eichhorst picks it up at the 35 and gets it to the 36, and that's where the Tigers begin first and 10.
I'll tell you, the Tigers got lucky on there because it looked like a first-row lineman actually touched that ball first. If that bounces off of him and goes into Fairfield's hands, that could spell quick disaster for the Tigers, but ball went on back to Scott Eichhorst, and he picked it up and was able to get control.
Well, only had some success throwing the ball their last possession. First and 10, ball at the 36. Novak now with Trippiano in the backfield, mixed right to the left side. Amateur in the slot. Here comes Manny. Manny across the 40 to the outside. Trippiano is at midfield. Reid knocks him out of bounds at the 43-yard line of Fairfield, the 1st and 10.
Almost a 20-yard pickup.
Actually, it was 21 yards on the pickup for Trippiano. And that was a big
good blocking. Great blocking up front on that left side of the offensive line for the Tigers. Trippiano got outside, and we know how dangerous he is when he gets outside. When he finds that little opening, he can shoot it.
1st and 10, Tigers. Second first down of the night for Olney. Ball at the Fairfield 43. Second time Olney's been in Fairfield territory. Quick interrupt to middle Taylor, and he is wrestled to the ground. Nice interior tackle by Marty David.
Taylor, good thing that was to him instead of the Trippiano, the tailback, because Jason Novak had another defender right on his back.
Boy, that was a nice play by Marty David.
Yeah, it was. David stood up and really took it on.
Ball at the Fairfield 42-yard line on this second down and 9. 13-0. Fairfield leads. Clock moving. 10:25 to go. Opening half. Nick wide to the right side. Amateur in the slot to the right. Here comes Trippiano, right side. And, I think he tripped over his own blocker that time. I think he hit the foot of Jason Doherty, and Trippiano falls forward about 3 more yards.
He did. He could have broke that outside, and he might have had, who knows what he might have had, but nonetheless, he stepped on the back of Doherty's foot.
Well, 4 yards on the pickup for Troop, 2 carries for Manny for 25 yards, so he's been an instant impact on the offensive side. Sean, you got to think Olney down 13-0. They're in 2-down territory, barring a sack of any sort.
I don't think the Tigers by any means out of this game. I mean, if they score here, they're right back in it.
But I think they really need to get some points.
They do need some points.
Or at least move the ball. 3rd down for Olney. Ball at the 39-yard line. Novak drops back to throw. Pass to the outside is incomplete. Thrown low that time. Let's see, the intended receiver was Kurt.
He's not able to keep a hold of the ball, but that's about the only place Novak could have thrown it because the defender was coming up quickly. He had to throw it low.
You have to catch those, because that was the first down. Incomplete pass. Novak now on the night, 2 out of 4 for 30 yards. A 4th down play coming up for Olney, and as we suspected, ball at the 38. Tigers already down by 2 touchdowns. They need to keep moving the ball. You can't afford to get it back to Fairfield.
Right now you're kind of looking at maybe, what about like a... Well, go ahead.
Well, we got a timeout Fairfield. We'll be back in 30 seconds on Power 93. Back at East Richland High School, 9:21 to go here in the second quarter. 13-0 Fairfield leads. And the Mules have done it with 2 outstanding drives. Now, 4th down for Olney. The Tigers need about 6 yards.
Let's put 9:29 back up on the clock. 9:29. Sorry.
So let's see. What do you think here, Sean? Tigers definitely have to go for it.
Screen is what I thought.
Screen pass. We need some kind of... I'll tell you what, Amateur from the slot, and yet again, I don't know, is Ben Beard in the lineup because he's really catching the ball well from the tight end position. I don't see him out there, but those might be 2 of your targets you might think about. And let's see. Actually, 4th down play coming up. You got Amateur on the left side. Trippiano is in the backfield along with Taylor on his 4th and 6 from the Fairfield 38. Novak hands off to Trippiano. Manny battles, and he's going to be shy of the first down.
Good effort, though.
Yeah, it was a good effort and a good play. But Fairfield, boy, I tell you what, they were waiting for it. Manny picks up 4 yards on the play, and the ball goes over and down to Fairfield.
On that tackle, once again, showing some good defense. Marty David making the tackle when it counts.
So Fairfield begins on the 35, 1st and 10. Tigers have yet to score. Fairfield has had the ball twice. They have scored from their 24-yard line on a drive, and they've also scored from their 22.
So field position is not really a factor.
Now with this team, right side Milner. Milner's got a convoy outside, and Milner across the 45. He takes Amateur for a ride of about 5 yards, all the way to midfield, and that's a 15-yard pickup, and just like before you can blink, Sean, it's the first down.
Very quickly. Got to really credit that offensive line for the Fairfield Mules.
Right now, Sean Milner looking like a Heisman Trophy candidate. He's got 11 carries for 116 yards. And folks, we're still in the first half with 9 minutes to go.
It's amazing how many weapons this Fairfield team has.
First and 10, here's a quick pitch outside. Pass over the middle. It is complete. Nice hit out there, first of all, for the Tigers. That was 15-yard pickup. Saza on the hit that time. Robbins, nice hand for the first down.
Credit Robbins right there for holding onto that ball because Saza put one whale of a hit on him. Saza was a little shaken up on that one, but he's staying in there. Wow.
But 2 plays, 30 yards, 2 15-yard pickups, and Fairfield is moving again. Well, we kind of raised our eyebrows on the 32-14 score last week against Mount Carmel, but after seeing this display, I can understand why. Quick pitch right side. Milner's got another 10 yards, another 12 yards, and right now it's looking like a skeleton drill against the Tigers.
3 plays, 3 first downs. Amazing.
I mean, there's just not much you can say about this, folks. I mean, yeah, it's 13 yards for Milner, and he's got 129 yards. Jones on the stop along with Amateur. Tigers need a timeout. We're back in 60 seconds on Power 93. Subway to Richland County Mall and Olney, 8:15. Don Flowers, Scott Taylor, junior high baseball coach, and Noble, also one of our guests, as well as Kurt Dobbs, freshman football coach, and also girls basketball coach at East Richland. The guest tomorrow on Prep Talk. First and 10, Fairfield, ball at the Olney 22-yard line. 3 plays, 3 first down. Right side, Simpson, and he is drugged down by Doherty, and after only a pickup of 1.
Great job by Doherty, really getting penetration on that offensive line, getting through there and making the tackle in the backfield. Great job.
So Simpson only picks up 1 on the play. Second down is coming up for Fairfield. Clark is moving with 8:18. You know something, Sean? Keep in the back of your mind, we know scouts from Salem are here tonight. If Fairfield picks up a comfortable lead, we may see them go ultra-conservative.
Right. Tell you what, I think he actually maybe lost a yard.
That was a nice play by Doherty. Second down, let's call it 10. Ball in the wishbone formation. Counter play left side, and another outstanding hit for the Tigers.
Wow, Jeremiah Hahn stepping up from that linebacker position, making the tackle way in the backfield. That's going to be a loss of about 2 to 3 yards. Great play.
Boy, Simpson just can't seem to get positive yardage. Third down and 13 for Fairfield, ball at the 25. 2 outstanding defensive plays for the Tigers. Only needs a defensive stop. If anything, for confidence, right? But like I said, you look at their schedule, I got to say this is the best team this year on it. There's Walters rolling left. Walters pass over the outside is almost intercepted. Salza, Trippiano, and Novak. Manning thought he got the tip, but it's going to be an incomplete pass. Tigers really defended that well.
I thought Troop might have had it, to be honest.
I
but
did too.
I think right there, any 3 people could have got the interception, but if they all go over the ball at the same time, none of them was going to get it, and that's what happened. Good effort, though. You'd rather have them not get it than and be in position than to have a pass completed.
Jason Baker in the lineup for Fairfield now as Reid takes a seat on this 4th down at 13. I'll tell you what, right now Richard Reid's been the best defense. We'll only have to drop his 2 passes. Walter looking for a pass over the middle. It is. Is it complete? It is complete to Robbins inside the 10. That ball was thrown perfectly.
I'll tell you what, did that not look like a good pass to pick off, though? It was right over the middle, but as you said, it was thrown perfectly, just out of the reach of the Tiger defenders.
16-yard pickup for Robbins. He's got 3 receptions now for 42 yards. And another first down. That's the 9th of the evening for Fairfield. It's a first down and goal. Ball now inside the 9-yard line. Boy, just when you think Fairfield might be, stalling, they have not failed on a 3rd down conversion yet.
And Milner's getting quite a big rest here on this series since the timeout. We haven't seen him.
Here's Simpson right side. And he gets to the 5. So Simpson's going to pick up 4 on the play. And it's not a good sign for the Tigers is your defensive backfield with Beard and also Amateur making the stop.
Right there, Devin Beasley could have had the tackle, but I think you got to look, maybe that harness kind of hindered him there because he couldn't reach out and get the full extension of his arms to make the tackle. Just couldn't get the hand up there, but he was there.
Fairfield already with 138 yards rushing tonight. Here's Simpson right side. Simpson is knocked out of bounds. Gus Inskeep on the stop. And nice defensive play out there by the Tigers. Amateur also helping out.
Amateur with the initial hit, and Inskeep driving on out of bounds. Good defense, but it's getting down to really crunch time as real estate gets real expensive here with 4 yards to go, 3rd down.
Oh, here comes Milner. I know the Tiger defense also knows he's back on the field. 3rd down play. You know, something we haven't seen Walters do yet is really a true bootleg. He set it up well to the pass so far. Pro set formation, third downers, quick pitch left side. Milner student body left, and Milner, he battles his way in for the touchdown. Tribbiano had a shot at him, but man, he was knocked to the ground. And Milner scores from 4 yards out with 6:24, and it's starting to turn out to be a blowout.
Seems like if they're going to make the tackle, they have to make a tackle on not only the ball carrier, but also a defender.
It is now a 19-0 game, and Fairfield will go for 2. That score comes with 6:24, 7-yard run for Milner. Mules trying to earn the 2-point conversion, and let's see, right side, here we go for a pass, and are they in for the, nope, they're not shy of the first, the 2-point conversion by Inskey. So, 6:24 to go in the second quarter. It's Fairfield 19, Olney nothing, back in 30 seconds on Power 93. Back at East Richland High School, some updates. Second quarter, it's Carmi 8, Lawrenceville 6. Second quarter, Salem 8, Florida 6, and still 14-0. Mount Carmel leads Red Hill in the second quarter of play. 6:24 to go here. It's all Fairfield 19-0. Mules rolling now.
Updating scores in the Northeastern Conference is 14-0.
I'm impressed, really.
Oh, yeah. Got to be 3 possessions, 3 first downs. You know, Fairfield has gone on drives tonight, Sean. They've gone 76 yards. They have gone 78 yards and 65. Here's the kick, and it comes down to Amateur. And Amateur to the left side. Look at Amateur go. Amateur, tripped up at the 45.
I'll tell you what, they're so close to breaking these out, and there's a Fairfield Mule down on the play. Big block there coming from Andy Blakeney. He just completely laid someone out on that. Not sure who it is.
Well, the Tigers have got to get something going. 1st and 10. Ball at the 45-yard line. The offense has moved the ball at times, but basically, though, have come up short, and that's why they trail by 19 here in the first half.
Olney with great field position so far.
Well, Sean, they started the opening kickoff. Inskey broke it all the way to the 46 of Fairfield, but then the Tigers end up with a -3 yards after 3 downs, and they have to kick. They get the ball on their own 26. They get the ball on the 36. Not bad. Now they start out on the 45. So it's not like the Tigers have been playing in their own shadows tonight.
No.
There is a Fairfield player down, and we're not quite sure who it was. Coming up at halftime, we'll check scores from around the area. Art Kimball has the IHSA report, and we'll recap what has happened here in the first half. And
we don't know who it is, but I guarantee Andy Blakeney does, because he's the one that put the hit on him. I saw that hit.
Don't forget, next Friday night, we're on the road to Lawrenceville. Again, a 6:40 pregame show, 7 o'clock kickoff. In fact, from here on out, Sean, all kickoffs are 7 o'clock.
That injured player for Fairfield was Marty David, but he popped right up and jogged over to the sideline, so he looks to be okay.
All righty, 1st and 10, Tigers ball at the 45. I formation, Tribbiano now in the tailback position. Here comes the counter to Amateur. Brad's got to move to the outside, 50, 45, 40, Amateur 35, he lost the football! Oh, my, Fairfield has it.
I'll tell you, he was just running along, and it looks like, dropped something, and it was the football.
Oh, my. Too bad.
Good moves, though. Got to give him credit there.
Well, great blocking up front, and the Tigers loaded up and blowing on the foot again. Boy.
Wow.
It looked like there wasn't even a hit, Sean. He just dropped the football at the 35.
I haven't seen a fumble like that before. He was running along. It's like, hey, drop something. Almost like you dropped your wallet, but it was a football.
Well, there's the fumble. First turnover of the night for the Tigers. Fairfield first down and 10 at the 35. And here comes Simpson up the middle. He skates for about 6 on the play.
Slid for about 3.
On the stop for the Tigers inside. Look like, well, I couldn't quite tell you the difference. Oh, 4, he's on the stop for Olney. Boy, that was an outstanding run by Amateur.
Yeah, it was. It really was.
I mean, Brad's going to be the first one to feel bad about that. 2nd down and 4, and there's flags on the play. You know, only tonight, Sean, they have had runs. The Tribbiano's had a 21-yarder, Amateur a 25, so they've had some big runs.
Yeah, they've had some good runs. They just haven't been able to capitalize as of yet.
Ball back at the 34-yard line. It's going to be 2nd down and 11 now. Clock is stopped at 5:21 in the first half. 19-0 Fairfield. Wide to the left side now is Reid. We're in the wishbone formation. Tight end Clayton on the right. Walters stops back to throw. Pass over the middle. It's complete. And Robbins has it to midfield. Another first down on a pickup of 15.
Let's tip our hats to Robbins. He's taken some hits tonight to make those catches, and he's doing a good job of it. He's really getting labeled every time he touches the ball out of the air.
You know, Walters has had some pressure, too, tonight, Sean. It felt like he just sent back there. But Robbins is so tall. You know, you look at him, he's 6'3" and 200. It's almost like a center going up for the ball.
Yeah, him and Walters are looking eye level across there, and that's all they see is each other.
And the other thing is the Tigers do not have anybody in the defensive backfield over 6 foot. Here's Milner right side, and Milner's just running hard to the right side. Gang tackled at the 45, but not after a 5-yard pickup.
Gang tackle, but he's still moving the pack. It's amazing. He's really got them legs moving and really seems to be motivated into this game because he is playing very good football.
Doty, Taylor, and a host of Tigers on the stop. 2nd down and 5 coming up for the Mules. Again, they've got Salem next Friday night. Friday, they get Mount Carmel and Salem out of the way, and they look at the rest of the schedule, and they're looking at conference championship and playoff without a doubt.
Right, they get through these first few weeks, and they're set.
2nd down. There's a fumble by Simpson. A scramble for the ball. I think the Tigers have it. And let's see. I think Olney's got the football, and they do.
Yeah, they do. Let's see who came up with it out of the pack. It looked to be Voorhees.
Voorhees is a Tiger down on the play, but Simpson fumbled.
Tiger down on the play for a few minutes there was Dusty Jones, but he's back up.
Tigers have it now, 1st and 10.
Olney's got 4:47 to get something going. They trailed 19-0. Ball at their own 43. Now let's see. Tigers did really well on that last play with Amateur running the counter. I got to think you got to start throwing the ball now, Sean. Or get the ball to Trupiano and let Manny do something with it. Novak rolling right after the fake. Good time. Look at this. The wounded dug up for grabs, and it is incomplete. Nix had to turn it into a defensive back that time as Reid was on the coverage, and Reid had a better shot, actually, than Nix did.
Yeah, but give him Nix credit. He did knock the ball out of the way because that was an interception all the way. But I'll tell you what, if Novak's got a little more arm on him, that's touchdown because Nix had his man. Providing he catches the ball, true.
Nix out of the line of Kurtz returns. 2nd down and 10. Tigers ball at the 43. Clock stops at the incomplete pass. Let's see. Kurtz and Amateur wide to the right. Tigers in the I formation.
7-4-3.
There's a drop back up. Novak gives it to Trupiano. Manny is smothered there, and not much going for the Tigers offensively on that play as Seth Harnden now on the stop for Fairfield, and Troop will drop back 5 on the play. 3rd and 15 coming up.
Milner also in there shaking hands with Trupiano.
Well, Tigers have done everything they can to try to get a ground game established tonight. Unfortunately, again, we hate to keep harping on it, Sean, but I really believe, I told a lot of people before the season starts to watch out for Fairfield. Right now, I think they are the best team in the conference and one of the top 3A teams in this area. I know some people from Robinson may not agree, but
I think you'll get a chance to see.
There's a counter to Amateur again. Amateur's got some room to the outside. Brandon looks for help. Crosses 40, 35. Brandon on the 30, still on his feet. Brandon is going to go for a score touchdown only.
Boy, what a beautiful run. I'll tell you, we saw him last year running some JV ball and freshman ball, and he was just running the daylights out of it. We didn't know if he was going to be able to carry it over to varsity football, but I think he has definitely opened a lot of eyes and shown us that. Great run by Brad Amateur.
62 yards for Brad Amateur. That score comes with 3:30 to go, and the Tigers are on the board. Now, they're going to have to shoot for 2, I think. Well, no, they're going to kick this one, I think. As Novak will try the point after touchdown, Angle will hold.
It really doesn't matter, Ed, because you're going to need another score anyway.
Another couple. Now, Fairfield doesn't have enough players on the field. They're going to call a timeout, and we're back in 30 seconds on Power 93. Back at East Richmond High School, Brad Amateur has given the Tiger fans something to ensure about. 62 yards on the score. This is after the series before he rumbled for 25 and drops the ball. But
I think that's why you saw a little extra effort there. I mean,
wow. And he broke
himself.
Sean, he broke some tackles.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there was one that he was really, well, that last one right there, he was stopped up, and I'll tell you, most backs I don't think would have got out of that tackle, but he did. Spinning move, great job.
Well, the Tigers are going to try the point after touchdown kick. It's now 19-6 in favor of Fairfield. And again, the counterplay is kind of counterproductive.
Well, I think what you're seeing is you're seeing over-penetration by that defensive line of Fairfield trying to get the backs in the backfield, and that counterplay is really working.
Which means also a screen might be an idea.
Screen would be a good idea.
So, here's a snap back. Novak's kick. It's blocked.
Wow.
It is blocked. Incomplete. No good. 3.5 minutes to go. First half, 19-6 in favor of Fairfield, and we're back in half a minute on Power 93. 19-6, Tigers are on the board. Brad Amater goes 62 yards on the score. And now 19-6, Fairfield gets the ball passed with 3.5 minutes to go here in the first half of play, and it's been all Mules up to that point, Sean, and we're talking about over-penetration from the Fairfield defense. You know, that's something that maybe Coach Flowers, I don't know if the Tigers can honestly get back in this game, but I think they've got some optimism right now.
Well, I think they do, and like we talked about that over-penetration, screen passes work nicely when the defense is over-penetrating, also those cutbacks, the draws, and that also sets up the other plays.
Here's Novak's kick, end over end, John coming down to the 15-yard line, 20, 25, 30, 35, up to the 40, 41-yard line. Nice return by Warren that time. Fairfield in excellent shape, first and 10.
Think about Warren. Warren's able, he's got good speed, he's able to get around, but an arm tackle will bring him down because he's not that heavy of a player. It's only 140 pounds, so.
You know something, Sean? We scored when I sat down, so I'm going to continue to sit down. Okay. First down at 10, Mules at the 41. Walters will bring him to the line of scrimmage. He sets him up into Wishbone. Milner is back in the lineup. Wide to the right side is Baker. Here's a pitch, and it's going to be a pass from Warren. Tigers know this is going to happen. The pass is intercepted by Sauza. Penalty flag is down, though, on the play, and Sauza is down at the 36. Flag is down. Olney knew that they were going to throw the pass like that one time tonight.
Yeah, they did, and they defensed it well. They had three guys back there ready to make that interception. Sauza coming down with the big old cast on there, too.
This is going to get the Tigers because Olney is very upset.
I think it's in a position where the interception still should count.
No pass interference, though.
Okay, well, then it wasn't.
Well, there's another. This one may not go to turnover, Sean, but it is a mental mistake. You know, Olney fans are going to like that call. I really didn't see it because the ball was definitely overthrown, unless they felt like there was a push in the back and he didn't give him an opportunity.
Well, if that's the case, he probably would have been a little closer to the ball anyway.
Yeah. Well,
I don't think so. I don't know.
We mentioned breaks, and Olney really has not gotten a break from the officials the last couple of games. But anyway,
officials, that's really the first call the officials have.
Well, interception does not stand. First and 10. And now, unfortunately, what should have been the Tigers' ball is Fairfield's ball in Olney territory at the 44.
I don't think we'll see that pass again.
Not at least from Milner. Not Milner, excuse me. Here's a snap back. Walters pass over the middle is incomplete. No flags down this time. Of course, you know that's what the fans are saying.
Jeremiah Hahn in there with the initial breakup almost got the interception. Also, Salsa almost got the interception on that pass. Talking about that extra point block earlier, that was Milner once again who got in there and was wide open on the block.
Second down at 10. You know, surprising, you've got Milner. Daren's gone for 141 yards here in the first half. I would think he would be your primary target right now to run the ball. Tigers with some new life after the score. Here comes a pass. It's going out in the flat to Milner, and it's thrown incomplete. First really bad pass of the night, I would say, from Walters. Yeah. Except for the interception, which really should have counted, but it didn't because of a questionable, let's use it that word, questionable pass interference. I'd like to see that one back on tape.
Sure Coach Flowers would.
Oh, yeah. Third down play for the Mules. Incomplete pass stops the clock with 2:43 to go here in the second quarter. 19-6 in favor of Fairfield. Mules again have the ball at the Olney 44. Third down play. Here's a pitch. It's bubbled in the backfield. Tigers try to go for it, and Tigers have it at the Fairfield 44.
Is that a flag down?
No.
Surely not.
Now, no flag down. Tigers have it, and they're in Fairfield and territory, and Sean, they're in striking distance again.
Say that pitch was simply overthrown a little high. Milner couldn't quite get a handle on it. It was way over his head. And that, well, no, that was a beanbag that flew, marked the position of the turnover. So
ball at the 46. Fairfield Olney would like to really get another score before halftime, 1st and 10.
Knew I saw something flying in there.
This is the second time the Tigers have started in Fairfield territory tonight. Novak rolling right, throws over the flats, complete to Taylor. Taylor across the 40, JT to the 35, the 33, and half the first down, 14 yards on the pickup.
I'll tell you what, we're seeing some sparks from this Olney Tiger team. They're starting to put together the offense, and the defense is not looking that bad either.
That's the third first down of the night for Olney.
I'm not going to write them off yet.
Oh, no. No, Fairfield's really helped the cause.
They have.
I mean, Olney took advantage of the Simpson fumble for a score. Kurtz White to the left side now. Tigers down by 13 with 2:09 to go in the first half.
Talking about breaks, and the Tigers have an opportunity.
First down and 10. And there's a fumble on the snap, and I think Fairfield's got it.
You're right.
Now let's see. Fairfield says they have it. They do. Marty David on the recovery. And gentlemen, that's what separates great teams from good teams.
Just know the ball didn't actually get back to Jason Novak. Somehow there's a little mess up with the snap. I'm not going to speculate whose fault it was, but definitely a mental breakdown there, because that should be natural.
That should be something really in the third game of the season you don't have.
You take so many snaps during the summer and during the preseason.
Here's Milner. He is picked by Trupiano. Manny with a massive hit that time. Milner picked up 4, but he'll remember 25.
Oh, boy.
I think
Manny coming in. Manny just putting a solid hit head on.
I think Manny's a little mad about that turtle.
I think he is.
Wow. Oh, my.
Hello.
Welcome to Olney. Home of the White Squirrels and 25 on his hit.
Answer the phone.
Second down and 4, we'll call it. Wishbone formation. There's a give up the middle. It's Link. Link got the first down as he picks up 6 on the play. Drugged down there by Doherty and Corey's with 1:10 to go.
Troop was barreling up that time. I think Link just decided I'll just take it down there after that hit.
Wow. It's good to see Manny back in the lineup.
Good to see Manny's not really worrying about that shoulder or anything. He's hitting hard.
Well, there's no indication on that lap. I guarantee you, 1st and 10 Fairfield at the Mule 47-yard line, 19-6. Another broken play. And let's see. And Trupiano Novak on the stop. And Troop was really getting his licks in. Walters had nowhere to go.
No.
He rolled left. The whole team rolled right.
Tell you what, it's kind of bad when the whole wishbone goes right and you're hung out to dry left.
Well, Fairfield in no hurry, Sean. They're going to get the second half kickoff anyway. Down to 35 seconds, 19-6.
Walters with a good arm. You might want to look for that last second pass, the deep one.
Here's Milner, quick pitch right side. Tigers stand up, and Milner rolls. Milner gets across the 45 to the 42-yard line, and Milner's got 9 and a first down. Inskeep and Hamner on the stop for almost 154 yards now for Milner in his first half. Impressive.
Very.
23 seconds to go. Fairfield quickly to the line. They're out of timeouts. There's a fake. Here's Walters. Pass is going deep, and Trupiano's got the interception. And Manny down at the 17 with 15 seconds to go.
Nice tackle.
Really done after the first couple of series, Sean, the Tigers have really done a better job on pass.
Oh, yes. Well, I think you're seeing...
Well, Trupiano's also in the lineup. He wasn't in there.
Plus, you're also seeing deeper pass routes, so you're giving them a little more time. They're not the quick pop passes out to the outside or right over the middle. But even when some of those have been happening, you're right. Defense has been there. And Trupiano, good defensive back.
Tigers probably just run out the clock to go talk about this. Down to 8 seconds to go. Novak sets him down, and Jason gives it up to Amateur. They tried to go to the counter. Fairfield defends as well, and that's the first down. Well, first 24 minutes in the books, but looks very grim in the middle of the second quarter. Is now very hopeful. At halftime, it's Fairfield 19, Olney 6. Art Kimball, the IHSA Report, comes up in 1 minute on Power 93. Kick it off for the Tigers as we begin the second half of play. As Warren is back deep for Fairfield along with Hodges. Here's the kickoff. Comes to Warren, and he slips and falls at the 18-yard line. First down and 10, Fairfield.
He was safe, though.
Yeah. At the 18-yard line, first down and 10.
I'll tell you what, I really don't think we're going to see much passing from Fairfield. I think they're going to be a little more conservative, keep it on the ground. I mean, they've not had that much success with their passing to keep going to it. They've almost had a few interceptions, and that can get Olney right back in the ball game. I think you're going to see a lot of Milner, a lot of some other backs getting some work and running the ball more than just throwing.
First down and 10, wishbone formation, and here comes Milner, and Simpson, Simpson all the way across the 30 to the 32. 15-yard pickup and a first down for the Mules.
If I'm not mistaken, that's Simpson's best run of the night. He was really kind of not having much success against the Tigers previously, but that was a good run, and that was right up the middle.
First down and 10. That is first down number 13 tonight for Fairfield. And not a good sign. Rick Hubble is back on crutches. Sean, it looks like a cast on his ankle. Here's Milner up the gut, and Milner quickly across the 35 to the 39-yard line. Tripiano on the stop for the Tigers. The Milner has 7 on the play.
This doesn't take long to put a cast on anymore, does it? Yeah. That was in that first quarter, and not a good sign.
Second down play coming up. 4 yards needed on the play for Fairfield. Wide to the right side is Baker. Wishbone formation, and look at Walters. Quick snap. I think this is a procedure call against Fairfield.
I think you're right, because that happened way too quick, even for the line.
Preliminary indication is illegal procedure against Fairfield. So instead of a first down, it's going to be a second down, and we're looking at probably 9. So we're not sure the extent of Hubble's injury. You know, that looks like, Sean, honestly, that could be a season-ending kind of injury, but we're not going to speculate, but tough break for the Tigers. Second down, and let's call it 7 yards to go. Tigers really need a nice defensive stop here. Fairfield's come out running hard, and here comes Milner again. Milner looks to the outside. Milner, and he is just running over Tigers. Tigers trying to tackle him up high, Sean, and you just can't do it.
No, you can. Jason Novak there on the tackle. Manny Tripiano with the tackle. But you're right. His legs are going so quick, it's hard to get him up high. You've got to take those legs out. I guarantee you a running back cannot run without those legs going.
And he's got a fresh set. I guess Coach Hadfield that time really had a nice talk at halftime. They have come out on fire. Fairfield now with 14 first downs.
Pretty good when you can have fresh legs after 167 yards.
Right. And here comes Simpson, and Simpson is just rolling, and Simpson on his feet all the way to the 40-yard line. 16 yards on the pickup, and another Fairfield first down.
Where do they get these bursts of energy? I mean, they are quick, and they are running hard.
Well, I think one of the things helping them is always trying to hit up high.
That's true.
They are. You can see all from here behind the press boxes. Notice that. You can't hit these guys up high. Well, Fairfield's come off, and they've ruled off 3 first downs on this drive. And here comes Milner right up the gut, and this looks like a freeway as Milner goes all the way to the 30-yard line, and he was close to another first down.
Tripiano on the tackle took the legs out, and he went down hard and quick, but not before picking up some good yardage.
Yep, they're going to give it a gain of 10 on the play and another first down.
And this is right up the middle, mind you.
Yes, we mentioned the Tigers' defense is pretty good up the middle, but boy, Tigers have called the timeout. Nice call from Coach Todd Flowers. We're back in a minute on Power 93. Back at East Richland High School, first play from scrimmage, and Simpson is stacked up for no gain on the play. It's going to be a second down play coming up for the for Fairfield. Mules are going to need 9. Wide to the right side on this set is Baker. Wishbone formation. Back to throw. Walters pass over the middle. It is picked up and almost intercepted. Tripiano on the coverage. Rob is the intended receiver. And the pass defense has been excellent here lately.
It has, and you're almost telegraphed in Robbins. I mean, maybe look at someone else. I didn't really see anybody else. I saw out here on that the right side, I saw
It looked like Milner was a hot receiver that time.
Right. I mean, the only person that's running the true pattern is the man it's going to. Jason Baker was out here on the right side, and it was just kind of a lackadaisical pattern.
Third down play. First time Fairfield's has strapped a third down. They just get it up the middle of Simpson, and he is just hog-tied that time. 40 on the stop for the Tigers.
Forey's also in there. Forey's, I believe, got the initial hit. Good defense, though, by that front line for the Tigers.
Sean, this is the biggest play of the game. It's fourth down. Fairfield needs 8. The ball is at the Olney 28-yard line. If the Tigers hold, they're really back in this contest. They really are.
Yeah, they are.
Fourth down and 8. So I'd say keep an eye on Milner. Here's Walters to throw. Pass on the flat is incomplete. Almost intercepted. The only pass defense has gone through a 90-day change since the first quarter.
They have Jason Novak getting a hand on that pass. A little bit lower. Jason Novak might be kissing pay dirt right now.
Olney takes over with 9:23 to go here in the third quarter. Takes over at the 28-yard line, 1st and 10. So Fairfield holds the ball for 2.5 minutes, and the Mules have to turn it over to Olney.
Most important thing right now, if you're an Olney fan, is get some points quickly.
First down to 10, Trippiano in the backfield. Nick's wide to the left side, Amateur in the slot to the left. And here comes Troop up the gut, and Manny Russell's down to the 30. He's going to pick up a couple.
Troop had blocking up front, but he just didn't have the blocking as fast as he needed it because he got to the hole before the hole was there. The hole was opening, but he was there too quick.
I'm going to give so far we talked about Walters being the best quarterback we've seen this season. As Nix is out and Tegler into the Olney lineup, I think Marty David might be the best defensive player I've seen this year.
Yeah, he's real aggressive. One thing, I'm not discrediting Trippiano for hitting the hole quick. That's what he's taught to do. He's doing a good job. I'm just saying the hole just didn't open up quick enough for him.
Second down and 7 for Olney. Ball now at the 30. Fairfield threatened the blitz, and here comes Trippiano, and Manny muscles his way to the 31, and that's about it.
Tried to cut back to Trippiano a little bit, and Troop just couldn't get through the line.
Third down coming up. Matt Link on the stop that time for Fairfield. Olney needs 6.
Big play here for the Tigers.
I'm really surprised we see 2 running plays, though. Olney really had some success throwing the ball for the latter part of the second quarter.
And now you about know they have to throw the ball, so that's what you look for.
Close up formation, 3rd and line for the Tigers. Olney needs 6. Novak back to throw. Here comes the blitz. Pass over the inside. Intended for I-Force is incomplete.
Blitz was coming on strong there from J.R. Hodges.
Well, when you set yourself on a 3rd down and long and the defense knows that you're going to pass,
to really take away the element of surprise.
It does. That's why I'm really surprised in the second down play, Sean, we didn't see a pass, because Olney really had done a nice job with the pass offense. So Novak's in the kicks. Jason tonight with punts of 37 and 42 yards. Warren back deep for the Mules at about his own 33. Here's a snap back low, and here comes the Mules, and they clobber Novak, and Olney doesn't get the ball back. Came close to blocking it. Warren picks it up at the 35. This is academic. You can just let him run to the end zone. It wouldn't matter. And Warren's going to go ahead and escape it. Warren thinks he's got a touchdown, but folks, it doesn't matter.
Good run, though.
It was. And I think Olney knows. Olney knows it's going to count. We've got a roughing the kicker call in Fairfield.
It's pretty obvious what it is.
Yeah, like I said, that I think everybody in this stadium knew what was coming on, so.
Good run, though. Give him some credit.
Well, I think Olney knew it, too. Let's be honest. They grouped around the 50, broke down the sidelines. And it was a good call by the officials on the roughing the kicker. I think Fairfield came awfully darn close to hitting that ball.
They were within about an inch of making a fantastic play, let's put it that way. But when you're trying to block a punt or a kick or anything like that, on an extra point, go right up the middle. But on a punt, you have to come from the side. You have to get the ball. You cannot get the kicker.
So Olney will get the ball back, and the ball moves all the way to the 46-yard line, 1st and 10. Big break. We talked about breaks not going Olney's way, Sean. Here is one that does. And what Charleston did last week, what Fairfield has done tonight, Olney has got to take advantage of it.
Right. They've got to capitalize on those turnovers. They haven't been able to do it other than that Newton game.
See if Olney goes up top. 1st down and 10. I-Course is tight end on the left side. Taylor right to the right. I formation of Taylor and Trippiano. Amateur in the slot. Novak. I guess it's an option pitch. Trippiano fumbles on it and falls on it at the 35. That, my friends, was simply in layman's terms ugly. Now, I don't know if that was a pitch or that was just a here, you take it, hop it, and kind of toss.
This ball's getting slick.
A loss of 10 on the play, and that is not what Olney needs at this juncture.
Tell you what, Ed, I'm looking out here at this defense, and I think if the tight end would do like a 5 and out quickly, I think there's room, there's an opening.
Second down and 20, whatever that play was, get it out of the book for next week. Novak back to throw, pass over the middle. 10 receiver Nix, it's incomplete.
Nix with a little slant pattern. That was a 5 and in, a crossing pattern.
And honestly, Sean, the pattern wasn't run well. The throw was terrible. But
Novak didn't have time.
No,
Novak had pressure.
And that was the thing. Jason just didn't have time to set his feet. And I think the ball was thrown earlier than anticipated, and Nix really hadn't completed his pattern yet.
That's more like a spot throw, actually, more than it is lead the receiver. You pick out a spot, you say your receiver, be there, and you throw it. He just had to rush it.
Deja vu from Charleston. Get a break, and you go backwards. Third down play for Olney. Tigers need 20. I formation for Novak, and he's dropping back to throw. Here's the pressure on. Novak escapes one. Tackler, two. Jason down the sidelines. Jason all the way to the 46. Gets back 10 of the 20 yards needed. Olney's still going to have to kick it away. And
good scramble, though. That helps out his cause when he goes to punt.
Yeah, but Sean, let's be honest now. You get a break and a gift, and the Tigers did not take advantage of it. You know, and that's been so far the key in these last two games.
That whole drive was set up there by that first non-pitch.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure exactly what it was. It looked like it was an option, but there was not enough spacing between Manny and Jason, and
the play just never developed.
It did not develop at all. No. So Novak back to kick. I'm sure Fairfield will lay off, and they do this time. And Novak gets a boomer. It's down to the 20. And that's where Warren has it at the 20-yard line, and Warren is hog-tied there by Inskeep, and that's where Fairfield has the ball. First down and 10.
Inskeep in there on the tackle. Also Craig Nix.
Ball at the 20. First down and 10. 5:55 to go in the third quarter. It's Fairfield 19 and Olney 6. Jason Novak's really helping his average. 37, 42, and now 44 yards.
Not bad.
No. He can kick the ball.
Not to mention a 50-some yarder the guy called back.
Yeah. Push run formation. Walters and the Mules first and 10. Simpson following blocking up front gets about 5. Forey's on the stop for the Tigers. Jeremy's had a nice game inside.
They're just running a basic lead is all they're doing. They're sending one of the wishbone backs through the hole, sending the lineman out to the backers, and the linemen are taking the initial lineman, and then the hole's open there. The lead back's coming through, hitting a backer, and you've got a wide open space.
Second down play. Mules need 5. Ball at the 25-yard line, and here comes Milner off the left side. Milner's got a hole. There goes Milner all the way to the 40. Trippiano on the stop, 15 yards, and that is the 17th first down of the night for Fairfield.
That's a lot. That's a lot of first downs.
191 yards on 20 carries for Milner now. He's headed for 200, and I don't know if I've been here since 88, Sean. I don't know if I've seen it back over 200 yards.
Well, you were not able to do the 4 game last year.
That's right. First down and 10. Quick hitter, link up the middle. He's got 10. He's got 15, 16, 17 yards on the stop. Amateur, Trippiano, and Inskeep on the stop. That's 17 yards there on the first down for Link.
They're running at will right now on the Tigers. Why go to the air when you're running like this?
Yeah. First down and 10, and these things are quick hitters, too.
Just basic lead blocks is all they are.
I'll tell you what, that offensive line for Fairfield doing an outstanding job tonight. First down and 10. Let's try Link again. And he has stood up that time by Taylor, and he'll pick up a couple.
Good job by Taylor, getting up, making the stick, and hanging on.
Second down play coming up. Fairfield is going to need 8. The offensive line is Tullis, Large, Townsend, Richardson, and Ellis at center.
If you're going to hit high like that, you need to wrap up, and that's what he did there. Jeremiah Hahn on the tackle.
Fairfield started this drive back at the 20. Right now, they're at the Olney 40. It's a second down and 8. Quick hitter up the middle again. It's Link, and Link is close to the first down, and he's got it. As he gets to the 30, that's 10 more yards knocked off and another Fairfield first down.
I'm sure you saw it, Ed, but I saw 2 arm tackles there at the line of scrimmage. He was hit, but the arm tackles just just not going to do it.
I think the word is fatigue. I think Olney now is tired. You know, Fairfield's been able to rest some people.
Fairfield doesn't look tired at all. I'm sorry.
I think they could play another ball game after this one at this juncture. 4:15 to go, first and 10 ball to Olney 30. And here comes Milner left side, and Milner's just now sprinting, and Milner is knocked down by Salsa at the 15. And that's 15 more yards, and Milner now is over 200 for the night. He's got 206, and Fairfield has 20 first downs. This is one game, Sean. The statistics are not going to lie.
No, they're not. I'll tell you what, Milner must be on the cross-country team because he has some endurance. He's running all over the place, getting some good yardage.
First down and 10. Mules ball to 15. And here comes Simpson. It's his turn to run the ball. Simpson takes it to the 3. And there's 11 yards and 21 first downs. This is amazing. I mean, 3 straight first downs, and these things are quick bursts. And Olney's going to need another. No, the officials are going to call a timeout about something. I'm not sure what it is. Oh, they're going to measure, see if he's got a first down. Unofficially tonight, 21 carries for Daren Milner for 206 yards. Wow. That's unofficially now.
And
the thing is, I'm kind of conservative, Sean, on the yardage game, so.
The thing is, we've got 3:49 left to go in the third quarter.
Oh, that's 22 first downs, by the way, now for Fairfield. Score's still relatively close, 19-6, but I think Fairfield is looking to put Olney on the ropes right now.
Exactly.
First down and goal, Mules ball at the 3-yard line. I tell you, Milner, Link, and Simpson have really just taken over.
Taking nothing away from the Tigers. This is a great Fairfield team. It really is.
They're super, man. I mean, here comes Milner. Milner's got his 4th touchdown of the night, 3 yards out. And Milner scores again for the 4th time, and now it's 25-6 Fairfield.
I think he's going to get the player of the week over in Fairfield. I'll see how he couldn't.
That score comes with 3:41 to go in the third quarter. Fairfield is now going away, and the Mules are going for 2. High formation, as now Warren's going to run a 2-point conversion.
I think he's ran pretty well all of them so far.
He gives it off the middle, and Warren runs into 2-point conversion. It's now Fairfield 27-6, and we're back in 30 seconds of Power 93. Back at East Richland High School at Ballinger, Sean Edwards on WVON, WSEI, FM Olney. Well, Milner scored 4 touchdowns tonight, and Fairfield now leads 27-6. Milner unofficially 209 yards on 22 carries, 4 touchdowns, and I'm sure he's going to be kudos not only on his team but around the league tonight.
Hey, what an accomplishment for him.
Yeah. I mean, this Fairfield team is dynamite. Here's the kick. It's an end-over-end job. It's coming down to trip down right about the 16-yard line. Danny looks for help, dances around twice, tripped up, crosses the 30 to the 31. That's where Olney sets up shop. First down and 10.
Nice hit there by Brett Maguire. Brett, a 5'9" senior, 175 pounds, and he put a lick on Troop that time.
So first down and 10 for the Tigers, ball at the 31. We mentioned that Fairfield has Salem next on the agenda next Friday night, and I think Coach Hadfield now knows that this game might be out of range and might be time to go ahead and start.
I'll tell you what, Ed, to be honest here, Mount Carmel's out of the way, the Tigers are out of the way, and then you look at Salem out of the way. If they win against Salem next week, you can pretty well set your sights on cruise control.
Yeah, well, Flora. Yeah, they're pretty good too, and then they have Newton to finish up the season on at Newton, so.
That's not going to hurt your conference, though, any.
No. Penalty flag is down. It's against Fairfield, so that'll be a 5 against the Mules.
Barring a total collapse, this team has got its sights set on the NEC championship.
Right. I would agree with you. You know, a lot of people talk before the season that it's got to be basically Fairfield, Mount Carmel, and Salem, but unfortunately you always think of Mount Carmel and Salem at the top, and they kind of shoved the Mules to third, but you and I have talked about this for a couple of years. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Fairfield, and I got to be honest with you, Sean, I saw some jumping, but I didn't see much anything else. Unless it was an equipment like a mouthpiece being out, and that's classified as unsportsmanlike conduct. Well, what it is, it's a biggie. Well, whatever whatever it is, it's a 15-yard penalty, and the Tigers get the ball down to 46. Olney has 4 first downs tonight. Tigers now line up in the pro set formation. Amateur comes in motion to the left side. Novak sets him down. Jason drops back to throw. Pass over to Nix, and it's short. Novak was buried as he threw the ball. Marty David in on the hit, and Nix looked like a shortstop having to take up the one hop there.
He did, man. He had a blocker, too. That play is designed. He's the outback, and all he does is turn and catch the ball. And he's got that lead blocker as Amateur comes over in motion. That play was set up. He just couldn't get the ball to him. He was being decked.
Yeah, second down play coming up for the Tigers. Olney needs 10. Ball at the Tiger 46. 27-6 our score. Fairfield on top. 2:59 to go in the third quarter. I formation for Novak and the Tigers. Jason, here comes the counter over to Amateur. And boy, once, twice, Burns, 3 or 4 times. Fairfield Burns, a 2-yard pickup for Amateur. And that's 99 yards on the ground for Amateur tonight.
Had a pretty good night himself.
Yeah, he has. Third down play coming up, 8 yards for Olney for a first down. Ball at the 47-yard line.
And if he doesn't drop that ball earlier on the fumble, you got to look at, he's probably got about 130 yards right now.
Right. Tegler out the Olney line up, and Nix returns. Again, it's third down and 8. Now, Tigers will load up a couple of twins. Amateur and also Nix to the left side. I formation of Taylor and Tripiano. Third down play. Novak back to throw. Here comes the rush. Jason looking for help, but Jason gets the SOS up and it's back to the 31-yard line. 15-yard pickup, or 15-yard loss. And Tigers are going to have to kick it away.
The bad thing about this is the Tigers aren't just dropping straight back, because when you think of major defensive sacks, it's on a straight drop back pass rather than a bootleg like that. That was a bootleg left, and he was not able to get the protection he needed to get an open receiver. I didn't even see if there was an open receiver because there was no chance of that play developing.
So Novak back to kick it. Jason's mad. Here's the low snap, and Jason gets the kick off, and he is knocked down again. He is knocked down again. I don't know how Novak got up between 4 players without it being hit.
I think you should pretty well expect that by now. We've seen that so many times from Novak, and how he gets that ball threaded through there, I don't know. You just expect it.
Wow.
Novak's had a rough game.
Yeah, he has. Jason really is going to have to get the Whirlpool treatment tonight. He has been hit on punts. He's been hit at quarterback. He's been hit at linebacker. Number 4 has been hit a lot tonight.
Definitely some black paint on that helmet.
Well, Tigers will take over on the roughing call again. So let's see. That'll be 60 yards in penalties against Fairfield tonight. Second roughing the kicker call, and Olney takes over first and 10 at the 40. We have a minute 29 to go in the third quarter of play.
I don't think Coach Bob Hadfield's going to be too appreciative of those 2 penalties.
No, and I think, if this game was a lot closer, he really would be upset.
You can't fault your team, though, for going for the ball, and they are really getting up there and getting in position to block.
First down and 10. Tigers have the ball at their own 45. I formation. Novak gets it off to Taylor. JT battles for a yard. That's not it. Second down and 9 coming up, and I think Novak just gave that ball off and said somebody else take it for a while.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
Tegler back into the lineup. He replaces Nix.
Minutes to go in the third quarter play from East Richland High School. 27-6, Fairfield leads. It was led 19-6 at the halftime. Only 6-0 after the first quarter. Second down and a long 9 for Olney. Here comes Novak. Shots back. This is the option to Tripiano. This looks much better. Tripiano. Oh, he is. Reid at the 49. Well, I tell you, Matt Hodges that time came in and just took Tripiano for a 180 turn.
Troop popped right back up, though. Got it back in the huddle, but boy, what a hit. This little payback there from Troop said earlier.
Third down and 6. Come up, official timeout. That option play looked much better.
That's how an option play is supposed to be run. The quarterback, they cracked down on the quarterback. Nobody really covered Tripiano in the option, and they just pitched it out to him right as he was being hit, and Tripiano with some positive yards there, picking up about 4 yards.
Third down and about 6 yards to go. Ball at the 49-yard line. 24 seconds to go in the third quarter of play. 27-6. Matt Lake is shaken up, and he walks off the sideline. You know, Matt Hodges and also Link were the ones that hit Tripiano that time, and it looks like Link is the one that came off the worst.
That was a slow walk, too. That was kind of like...
I was trying to see him walk the line. If this was a policeman pulling you over with a light,
he's busted.
I mean, he was that wobbly. 3rd down and 6 coming up for the Tigers. Ball at the 49. I don't know if Novak's checking off now or not. 3rd down play for Olney. Here's Jason back to throw. Novak passes over the middle. Headed for I-Course. It's intercepted. I tell you, I don't even know if I-Course even saw the football that time.
It was over his head by some margin.
Interception that time for Fairfield. That's Jason Novak now. 3 out of 10 for 44 yards and 1 interception. And now Fairfield takes over at their own 35-yard line. Clock moving down with 3, 2, 1. After 3, it's Fairfield 27, Olney 6. Back in 1 minute on Power 93. Richland High School, Ed Ballinger and Sean Edwards with you. And 27-6 in favor of Fairfield as we begin the 4th quarter play. First is 10 Mules. As Walters remains in the quarterback, and here comes Simpson, and he's going to come on the play.
Good tackle there by the Tigers. Crashing down, making that tackle was Jason Doty.
2nd down and about 7 yards to go. We'll give you some scores from around the area here in a few minutes.
I'll tell you, one player that we've seen for the Tigers been doing a good job. We haven't heard his name called too much tonight is Andy Blakeney.
Yes. 2nd down play coming up. Fairfield needs 8. The scores from around the area. Mount Carmel very, very mad. They're leading Red Hill 56-6 in the 3rd quarter.
That's Mount Carmel.
And we got a timeout Fairfield. We'll take a 30-second break here on Power 93.
Now Subway has an offer you can't resist. Make your own meal deal for just $1. Buy any 6-inch or foot-long delicious sub at Subway and get a medium drink and chips for just $1 more. This offer good every day, all day, and there's no limit. So make your own meal deal for just $1 at Subway in the Richland County Mall.
Back at East Richland High School at Ballinger, Sean Edwards with you. 27-6 Fairfield leads as we begin the 4th quarter play. Some scores from around the area. Mount Carmel very mad, Sean. 56-6 over Red Hill. That's only in the 3rd quarter.
Well, if you remember last year what happened there, Red Hill came out and beat Mount Carmel, so I think that's a little payback right there.
3rd quarter score, Lawrenceville Carmi tied at 14. 4th quarter, Salem 30, Florida 24. That's a barn burner. 2nd quarter, Paris 8, Charleston nothing. 3rd quarter, Effingham 21, Mount Zion 7. 3rd quarter, Robinson 14, Newton nothing. Eagles have a great defense, Sean. The problem is they're struggling offensively.
Yeah, they are, and I mean, like we were talking earlier, 14-0 going into half, 14-0 in the 3rd quarter against Robinson is not a bad score. Robinson, of course, is way up there in the rankings.
Number one
in 3A. You don't get any higher than that.
Tell you what, I'd like to see them play this Fairfield team. Though 2nd down and 8. And here comes right side of Simpson across the 45. I think we got a face masking call against the Tigers.
Yeah.
The question is, how many officials can throw their flags at the same time? There's 3 on the field.
Well, that'd be your answer right there. Well, there's 4 officials, right, I guess, so yeah. One more could have.
Yeah, that's a face masking call against the Tigers. A pretty obvious line. So I'm sure it's too, Sean. I think face mask was used to tackle. Simpson, anyway, picked up 11 yards on the play, and suddenly he's got 73 yards. Fairfield's got 23 first downs, and the Tigers are being penalized, the big one, 15 yards for the face mask.
It's kind of wrapped around to grab the hold of the face mask.
First down and 10, Fairfield, ball at the Olney 37-yard line. Again, next week we're on the road to Lawrenceville to face new coach Brad Bobe and his Indians. 6:43 game, 7 o'clock kickoff. There's a snap give off to Simpson, and Simpson across the 30. Olney really just not doing much as far as stepping up. Manny Tripiano to stop for the Tigers, but Simpson rolls for 8.
You know the best way to not get a face masking call? don't hit high.
Yeah.
Tackle low. I mean, to be honest.
That's, we mentioned that's one thing. I'm sure Coach Flowers has talked about that tomorrow morning. Olney is really, again, a lot of that could be fatigue. I'm sure Coach Flowers is looking now to get other players in the ball game because down by 21 points with 10 minutes and 40 seconds to go. Kind of tough. Outside, right side, and here's a cut back to the middle.
Bill Heifner.
Heifner is in the lineup now, and he's got the first down. So Heifner comes in the game and picks up 5 and a first down. Fairfield looking for some insurance here. 24 first downs tonight for the Mules. 24.
I think your paper there reads 25 is the most on this paper. That's going off the paper. That's amazing.
Hand up the middle. Heifner again. Heifner to the 10. Heifner to inside the 10 to about the 8.
Chalk up another one.
As Inskeep on the stop for Olney. That ball goes all the way to the 9. 14 yards on the pickup and a first down again. Even in the loss 62-0 last year to Mount Carmel, I don't think they even rolled up 25 first downs. Yeah, again, they were scoring so quickly. Didn't need to, but anyway.
It was the big runs that hurt Olney against Mount Carmel last year, but now it's just, it's 10 yards here and there, 15 yards.
First and goal, Walters and company, hand up the middle and links in for a touchdown.
I don't think anybody knew who had the ball there.
That score comes with 10:01 to go in the game, and Fairfield now rolling out to a 33-6 lead. Link scores the first touchdown other than Milner tonight. Let's see, Fairfield will. I think they're going to kick it. Why not?
Yeah.
They need to work on their point after touchdown kick.
Need a holder, though, in there.
Yeah. I don't know, though. Walters might be able to drop kick it in. He's a pretty talented guy. 33-6. Walters is trying the point after touchdown. It's a hold all. This ball, slow snap, and the Tigers will hold up the 2-point conversion. So, 10 minutes and 1 second to go. 33-6. Fairfield went back in 30 seconds on Power 93. Back at East Richland High School, 33-6 our score, now in favor of Fairfield. 10 minutes and 1 second to go. Right now, Sean, Olney is now basically looking to get some things straightened out before next week's game at Lawrenceville.
Yeah, trying to have something positive to go out on. The game's pretty well out of reach right now, but really the only positive point we've seen, the main positive point, I should say, not the only, but kickoff returns have been excellent for the Tigers.
They have all season long, and that's one area.
Special teams they've really excelled in, especially on punting and kickoff return.
What has happened tonight is Olney's offense hasn't held the ball long enough for the defense to rest.
Could be.
I think that's a lot. So Ellis tees it up, and here's the kickoff. It's a split kick. It rolls, and Nix picks it up. And Nix is looking for some blockers, and Nix gets to the outside. Nice return by Craig. He gets all the way to the 40. That's what the Tigers begin first down at 10. So let's see what the Tigers can do with 10 minutes to go in the time play. Well, let's see now. Novak is in, and I guess if you got anything to work on, this is the time to do it. Yeah. I think Bob Hadfield knowing him, I think he's going to, he's starting to really substitute. He's got a whole new defense in there. He's not going to run this thing up. He's got Salem coming in. He wants to keep people healthy. First Troop Yano, Manny trying to get to the outside. Troop does. Troop to the 45, puts his head down to the 48, and he's going to pick up 8 on the play.
Trupiano really showing his hitting abilities as he rolls over Reid there. Puts the head down and just goes over the top. Good tackle by Reid, staying in front of the man.
Yeah, the only thing is that Manny didn't get a lot of help on the blocking outside. He basically did that himself. Well, Fairfield has a whole complete second unit now on defense.
I think you're going to see the Tigers score maybe 1 or 2 more times with this defense.
And hats off to Bob Hadfield. A lot of coaches would try to be running this thing up. He's got Salem next week. He knows what's going on. And here comes Trupiano. Manny's got the first down as he's in Fairfield territory at the 47. Troop has 5 yards. First down, and that's the 5th first down of the night for Olney. I think if somebody asks, what about this game tonight? Just say 25 to 5. That's first down. 25 for Fairfield, 5 for Olney. Score reached 33-6 in favor of the Mules. It's first and 10 Tigers. Ball now at the 47. Novak sets him down and gives it up the middle, big hole. This is Taylor, JT, across the 40 to the 35. Taylor's got 13 and another first down.
Jason Baker on the tackle, also coming in, Seth Harnden.
Down to the 35, also helped on the play.
Marty David's back in the lineup for a little, I think, support on the inside. And Marty only plays defense, so maybe that's why.
Plays it well, too.
Oh, very well. He plays it extremely well.
Like you said, he's probably one of the best defensive players we've seen, if not the best.
Oh, he's tough. I've seen him on run stops. I've seen him blitz the quarterback. First down to 10.
They even had him running a little fullback this week.
Yes, they did. Ball to 35. Here's Taylor up the middle. Big hole for JT. JT the outside, puts his head down. Gets across the 25 to the 22. Taylor's got 13 and another first down.
JT couldn't break it to the outside. Had a man on the left, and if he could have got past that one man, he might have been gone, but good run.
3 straight first downs for the Tigers. The drive continues. The clock also continues to move with 8:13 to go. Fairfield well out front here, 33-6. You know, this is basically a second unit the Tigers are running up against.
Hey, this is a unit you can pass on, I think.
Yeah. Here comes Tripiano, left side, and he cuts in, he crosses the 20, and shoots down to the 15, and he's got 7 more.
The Tigers shaking up on the play over there.
Tigers down. We've already lost Hubble twice.
Somebody that doesn't want to stay down, I'll tell you that right now.
And it looks like Jason Doherty is the Tigers down.
It is. He's limping a little bit, but he's putting weight on it, and he looks like he's wanting to stay in there.
Okay, that's one where Olney cannot afford to lose right there.
Any time you lose someone off the line, that hurts.
And he's a two-way player, too.
Right.
So ball at the 15-yard line, second down to 5 for the Tigers. Actually, second and 4, excuse me, Sean.
Dusty Jones will replace Doherty as Doherty's limping off the field a little bit. He's putting pressure on his legs, so that's a good sign.
So Tigers are on the road next Friday night at Lawrenceville, and they come home to face Carmi in 2 weeks. And, you know, all these got knocked off Charleston and Fairfield off their, list right now. Now they get back into what I call some teams that they really can compete with. Second and 15. Here comes Taylor. Taylor 15 to about the 11. JT's got about 4. The Tigers running about a yard shy of a first down.
Yeah, I think you're right. And also you look at the Tigers not only having teams coming up that you can compete with, but also teams that you can fine-tune with. Fine-tuning the offense and defense. And get set for those bigger games when you look towards Salem and Mount Carmel towards the end of the season, and at Florida.
And Florida, too. So this is a good chance. You know, only for years it started 0-3, losing to Newton, Charleston, and Fairfield. Well, they got Newton. They're going to lose the next 2, but they're still in pretty good shape as far as having a successful season.
This isn't typical Fairfield either. I mean, Fairfield's competable, except they're good this year. They're real good.
Tripiano's got the first down across the right side. Great blocking up front for the Tigers.
I'm going to pass to the end zone.
Troops now got 54 yards on 11 carries. Tigers now with 8 first downs in the game.
Troops earned every bit of those yards, too, because a lot of the times they haven't been, the blocks haven't really been there, but Troops made some cuts and adjustments and picked up the yardage himself, so give him credit there.
Clock continues to move with 7 minutes to go. Well, Olney's given up one more point than Mount Carmel did against Fairfield. Here's a snap to Taylor. JT is broadside at the 5-yard line by Heifner, and JT picks up a couple on the play. He's got 34 yards tonight rushing. Amateur's still 1 yard away from going over the century mark on our stats. He's got 99, 62 on one gallop, 25 on another.
Taylor out, Nick's back in the lineup.
I take that back, so he's got 89 yards. Amateur's 89 yards, excuse me. Can add. Second down play for the Tigers. Here comes Tripiano. He gets to about the 2.
Close.
Third and goal for the Tigers. Brought down at the 1. Amateur has 4 carries for 89 yards. Tripiano, 12 carries for 57 tonight. Taylor, 6 for 34. But you know one of the tougher ones to read, Novak has 4 for minus 28. Those are called quarterback sacks.
Exactly.
Third down and goal, ball at the 1. Tigers like to punch this one in through. Gives it off to Tripiano. Manny, no signal yet. Touchdown Tigers. Okay, this is the Paul official. Triviano scores with 5:37 to go.
Good blocking by the lineman, giving him that hole.
And again, that score comes with 5:37 to go. And it's now 33-12, and I think why not? I mean, 1 or 2 points at this juncture.
Not too sure Jason Novak's wanted to kick it again last time. Marty David coming up and blocking it.
Yeah.
I don't think Marty David's in there, no. He's off the other sideline, so
33-12, Novak's kick is up. Let's get from here, and it is.
That was a good kick.
5:37 to go, 33-13. Fairfield go back in 30 seconds on Power 93. 10-yard gap. My goodness. Novak's going to kick this one deep, and he does. Squibs it down the left side. The ball bounces. Picked up by Warren at the 25. Warren shifts his field. Warren on his feet. Warren is still going out at the 37. That's where Fairfield starts, 1st and 10.
Right there, that was what I was talking about. Warren, there's not much meat on them bones, and Ben Beard grabbed a hold of him and wouldn't let go. Brought him backwards.
We didn't see a lot of Ben Beard tonight, but again, we mentioned in the pregame show that Ben has been under the weather somewhat and has missed a couple of games, or excuse me, a couple of practices, but we'll probably see him in the next week in the Lawrenceville game.
Yeah, you really missed him in the pass receiving. That really hurt the Tigers because they didn't have that receiver out there, that extra receiver.
First down at 10, Mules, ball at the 37. I'm sure we're going to see the second unit now of Fairfield come into tonight's game. Now, we're going to call a timeout. We'll take a 60-second break on Power 93. Warren in at quarterback now as carrying the ball with Tester, and he picks up 4 in the play. Second down coming up. One final so far in the Northeastern Conference. Salem holds on to beat Flora in a shootout, 37-30.
That's close.
That's phenomenal. 37-30, Salem over Flora tonight. Second down play coming up. And about 4 yards to go. Give up the middle. That's a quick hitter up the middle, and looks like the Mules are close to another first down.
David Jordan with the carry.
And I think it's going to be... I know officials are going to have to measure, but 4:29 to go. They'll bring out the chain gang and check this out. Again, one score from the Northeastern Conference to report tonight. Salem 37, Flora 30. And again, that's the first final we have around the league tonight. This came out far from over, Sean, 4:29.
No. They working over there on Jason Doty on the sideline, and he seems to be up and moving around. He's over there standing by the coach as if I'm ready to go back in, so that's good to see.
Yeah. Again, next week it's at Lawrenceville. The Indians win a dogfight with the Carmine Bulldogs. 14-14 last report of that one. First down, and here's the give off, and Heifner picks up a couple. By the way, it's 26 first downs tonight for the Mules.
Devin Beasley on the tackle there for the Tigers.
I'm sure he's going to be the gentleman tomorrow.
Zach Slater also in the lineup there for the Olney Tigers.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Don't forget U of I football tomorrow afternoon, 12:30 pregame show, 1 o'clock kickoff. U of I taking on Missouri here on Power 93. Here's a give off left side, and running hard with the football. It's Hesterly. He picks up another first down. I'm running out of room here, Sean.
Well, Hesterly just almost got that ball stolen from him as he almost stripped, but good job holding on to it.
Clock continues to run. 3:45 to go. Taylor and Novak, by the way, on the stop for Olney. Pro set formation, and here's a pitch out, and Hester not going anywhere. He's going to lose a couple of yards on the play. Hester falls back to about the 43-yard line. That's a loss of 4.
McDevin Beasley there on the tackle. Also helping out was Slater.
Second down play coming up for Fairfield. Mules need 14. They lead 33-13 with 3:18 to go. Wishbone formation now. And here's Milner, and I think we got a procedure call coming up against the Mules.
Todd Garrison over there at that left tackle position. Looked like he was a little premature there.
So let's see. So Fairfield will be back 5. Mules tonight so far 7 times for 65 yards in the contest. You know, we hear a lot of kudos for this Mules team. You know, they beat Edwards County 60-0, even though it's a lot of points. Edwards County hasn't won a game in 2 years. But then you see what they did to Mount Carmel, and then on the road here in Olney, they've been somewhat impressive.
No doubt about that.
Warren keeps it on an option play, and Warren picks up about 6 on the play. Beasley and Doty on the stop for the Tigers.
Beasley and Doherty are the tacklers.
Now it's just kind of waiting for the time to run out.
Third down at about 3. Clock reads 2:39, and it's moving. Whitesaws and checks out the Olney lineup because Inskip is in. I'm sure the Mules will keep it on the ground, and now we might have a delay of game now.
I'll tell you what, that third quarter seemed to drag forever. This fourth quarter really zipping through.
Yeah, it's been really a fast-paced game compared to what we've had the last couple. Mouthpiece foul against Fairfield. Equipment foul. In 9 times out of 10, it's either a chin strap or mouthpiece, and the official I saw.
Maybe I'm crazy, but whenever I used to play, I wanted my chin strap buckled, and I wanted that mouthpiece in. So you got rocked a few times, and it really helped to have those in there.
Yeah. It's third down and 18 for Fairfield. Ball at the Olney 47-yard line. 33-13 Mules lead. Warren keeps it to the outside, and Warren is drug out there. I tell you what, Warren has really run hard tonight on kickoffs, running at the play from the quarterback.
He's a hustler.
Yes.
Thane Dunahee in the lineup for the Tigers.
And Brad Amador sits down. Amador has one of the 2 touchdowns. Trippiano has the other tonight, and Novak has a PAT kick. Called by Fairfield, I do believe. We're back in a minute for Power 93. Fairfield 30.
Well, the punt was actually set up to go at, I believe, about the 40-yard line of Olney, and that ball way over the back of the head, and by the time they caught up with it, it was 30 yards down the field. That punt that got a snap was actually longer than some punts.
Choked up over that snap. There goes a rocket shot. So anyway, Tigers have the ball at the 30, and a minute 46 to go. And first down and 10. There comes the pitch out to Trippiano. Manning to the right side. The face mask call coming up against Fairfield. Trippiano doesn't pick up any yardage, but Olney's got to get a break here. A minute 30 to go.
Picked up about 15, I'd say. Face mask.
Clock stops at the minute 28 to go. Well, let me get the score here, Sean. That's, you're going to get some points here in the fourth quarter.
That's respectable.
Yes. Quickly, scores we have at this time. Final tonight, Salem 37, Flora 30. Oblong beats Arthur 22-14. Again, that's the final. Fourth quarter, Robinson 14, Newton nothing. Boy, one thing against Fairfield tonight, 9 penalties for 85 yards.
Tell you what, only penalties have not been a factor at all in this game.
Tigers have the ball to 16. They have a minute 28 to do something with it. First down and 10. 33-13. Fairfield's going to win tonight. That's academic, but only really trying to get some momentum. Broken up play, I think. And Novak does the, Jason, no. He tried to pitch it. It was blocked away. The officials are going to call an incomplete pass, and I think Olney caught a major league break on that call.
Well, he did kind of throw it forward, and it was like a pitch. It's almost like a shuffle pass.
I almost thought it was like a lateral, if anything.
As long as you're not behind him.
Right. But anyway, ball should never have been released.
No, absolutely not.
They're going to call it a forward pass. Second down play coming up for the Tigers. Ball now at the 16. Let's see if Novak goes to the air. Tripiano gets the pitch, and then he's got some room to the outside. He cuts back in. He's still on his feet. Flag is down, though, on the play. He's at the 3-yard line. A pickup of 13, but a penalty flag is down.
Fairfield Mule looked to be a little shaken up on the play. He's all right, though. Eric Simpson was down momentarily. Not back up, though.
It's preliminary indication of pushing it back against the Tigers. I was afraid of that.
Good run by Troop.
Was, but I think the one Fairfield player that got hurt was simply hit in the back. So Troop's run is nullified by the penalty. They'll mark it on the spot.
I think this next play you're going to see Taylor up the middle. Taylor had some success up the middle there on that last drive.
Minute 7 to go in the contest. Second down, excuse me.
Michael Taylor in the lineup for the Tigers.
Second down and 13, ball at the 18-yard line. We're under a minute, only trying to pick up another score here before this one's over. Novak back to pass. Here's the rush. Pass goes over. It's right through the arms. It's headed for Taylor, and it looked like a pretty good pass.
Pretty good pass. I don't know if Taylor was able to see it, though. He had a defender in front of him to the right there, not in line with the ball. But that ball probably was catchable.
Third down play coming up. 13 yards to go. 33-13 our score in favor of Fairfield. Fairfield's going to start 3-0 on the season. Tigers are going to fall to 1-2, 0-1 in conference, with Lawrenceville on the agenda next Friday night. I formation, third down play. Jason rolling right. Jason looks for a pass. Receiver throws in a crowd. It's incomplete. 10 receivers I course, and not much there.
Not sure at all.
Well, Tigers are down to 43 seconds and a fourth down coming up.
Got to go to the air now.
Tigers are going to call a timeout with 43 seconds to go. We're back at 30 seconds of Power 93. 35 yards. Now 35-yard field goal attempt coming up for Jason Novak with 43 seconds to go. Tigers going to work on their kicking game, it looks like, here, too. Angle to hold. Snap is back. Here's the kick. It's wide up. And it's a little short. Well, with 40 seconds to go, Tigers just working on their kicking game, it looks like. And Fairfield takes over.
It's a pretty long field goal, 35 yards.
It is. You know, the last one, the extra point kick was a boomer, and that one just a little short to the left. So Tigers will go back on defense. Fourth quarter score. This one surprises me. Carmi 21, Lawrenceville 14.
It's amazing.
And, of course, Tigers are going to take on Lawrenceville, and they're not going to be very happy if this one ends up in a final.
Tell you one thing, Ed, both of us have been kickers, and I think our extra points have always gone farther than the field goals, always.
It's what's above your shoulders that makes that difference. One goes down on the snap, and Fairfield's just going to let this one run out. I think he'll take one more snap, and that's going to be it tonight. Olney really just been a team that overmatched him, Sean. I mean, you know, we might have been a little critical on some of the plays, but
Fairfield's a good team. Don't take anything away from the Tigers. Fairfield's a good team.
33-13 our score.
Fairfield's going to go places. I don't see how they can't win the playoffs.
Boy, wouldn't you love to see them in a Robinson playoff matchup?
It would be a good game.
I know we're already putting them there in the playoffs, but I don't see anybody derailing in here. That's going to be it. Final score tonight from East Richland High School, 33-13 our final. Sean and I will wrap up tonight's contest after this.